Hi world. I'm here with my babies. My Cheyenne Lily. Say hi to the camera. Say hi everybody. Say hi. We're playing ball right now. Ready? Where's my other girl? Here's my other girl, Cherokee Rose. Say hi, Boogie. Boogie, come here. Say hi. Say hi. We're just sitting out here playing, enjoying the sun on this gorgeous day. Take this off, it's a little warm out here. Hi, honey. I know. Hi. So I thought I'd come on here for a few minutes today. I know. What? And talk to you guys about something, a major aspect in people's lives that they don't ever address. They keep it buried, and they don't realize that's what keeps them stuck. I know firsthand because I lived with it for more than half my life, and the big ticket item is resentment. I held a lot of resentment towards my mother and father for abandoning me, for abandoning their only grandchild, which they haven't seen since he was 11. I held a lot of resentment towards them for how they raised me, and the fact that the only mindset I ever knew about was scarcity, fear, doubt, unworthiness, because my parents were very strict, and my dad was a blue-collar worker. Hey, Boogie. There's my girl. She's resting right now. Cherokee Rose. And my mother, pure narcissistic embodiment. She didn't know how to raise me because she was still a child when she had me. And I felt so robbed through all of my young adulthood and my adult life, robbed from a normal childhood. I never knew what going out with my friends and partying was because I wasn't allowed out of the house. If my mother didn't trust someone, I wasn't allowed to be friends with them. She had a good intuition for sniffing out the ones who were wrong for me, and I never gave her credit for that. But she also manipulated me and tried to control every aspect of who I was, even as I got older and, past the age of 18. And I struggled all my life. I struggled with not feeling worthy enough. I was always met with silence when I was punished by either one of them. That's how they punished me. They took their love away. So, when I made choices that they didn't agree with, that's what I was met with. And if I wanted, to do something fun, it was, something always came up to where I couldn't do it. There was always an excuse. I never had freedom. I never tasted freedom. And then that's what drove me to get out of the house at 18 years old and on my own, because I wanted that freedom. I had a huge problem with authority figures. I still have a huge problem with authority figures, but I figured out it's because the only authority figures I've ever dealt with have been toxic individuals who controlled for the wrong reasons. You don't control, period, when you're a healed person. So all my life I've been surrounded by toxic individuals. And every situation that I put myself in or agreed to, it was my own doing. And I didn't know how to control those emotions because I had nowhere to turn, nobody to trust, nobody to talk to. And I was afraid of judgment. I couldn't approach my own parents about the things that I was feeling and going through because neither one of them understood. They were committed to misunderstanding me. And when you're walking through life and you're trying to do good and better yourself, the key that you always have to remember is don't explain yourself to anyone. There is never an excuse that you need to give to anyone about who you are as a person, or what you're doing, or the decisions that you're making, or why you're making them. It took me a long time to stop doing that. When I was younger, everyone knew about my life. Everyone knew the struggles that I went through because I used to tell everyone my problems. Lo and behold, everyone used those against me. The people I was closest to used those things against me to control the narrative and how other people saw me. I used to take that personally because I am a very emotional human being and I love with every fiber of my being, and I couldn't understand why someone would do those kinds of things to me. I never had a positive support system around me. I've never in my life had long-term female support in my life. I've had a few wonderful human beings who were females that I've looked at as, my wise elders, and God bless them for the spirit of their soul that still resides in me, no matter where they are right now. I have been blessed with a few. But it's when you learn to detach from every single human being that judges you and criticizes you, very quickly when you start not feeling comfortable in your own skin, not feeling comfortable in the environments that you're in, that's your key indicator that there is a change that your soul is screaming for, because you're not being recognized by the people around you because they don't even see themselves. So how can they acknowledge who you are? They can't. They can't. It's impossible. So stop people pleasing. Stop giving a fuck about what anyone thinks about what you're doing in your life. If it makes your weird little heart happy, go do it. It doesn't matter what it is. Wear that cool outfit that is from 1930s that nobody's ever wearing these days. Play that song or sing that song, that weird ass song that makes your throat sound like it was spit on. The point is holding on to judgments from other people and judging yourself. I've witnessed a lot of people recently, even males. I've seen some really beautiful, strong, pure-hearted, handsome men look down on themselves and talk bad about themselves. And it's because they have felt the same way in their life and they've never learned how to transmute those emotions and detach from taking it personally. And it's whenever someone judges you or criticizes you, it is a clear reflection of how they feel about themselves. I've had people that I cared about the most, one person that I was engaged to be married to, that looked at me in the face, would spit in my face, would tell me that they wished that I would commit suicide. And I held on to that for a long time. I held on to, my mother laughing in my face at 16, 17 years old, saying, "Ah, ha, ha, Dina, you have no knees," because I was overweight. My father would pick at me and say rude things and he would say it's all out of tough love. What you barking at, girl? Huh? Anyway, I got tough skin, but that's because I have been through literal hell. And I don't put up with anyone's bullshit anymore. And that's why I've been single for 8 years now. I actually counted it out. I've been single and celibate since 2019 by choice. And it's because I refuse to accept less than what I fucking deserve in this world. And I deserve pure love, pure joy, and pure happiness and peace. And I will never stop doing what I'm doing because I want everyone else out there to feel the same thing. Everyone else out there deserves to feel peace and joy in their hearts, but they're never going to feel it until they let go of that resentment. Plain and simple. Stop holding grudges to things that have happened 10, 5, 50 years ago. That's how you keep yourself stagnant and stuck. And by holding on to the opinions of others, fuck them. Live your life for you and only you. And be proud of who you are every step of the way. That's my message. God bless you all. Have a magical day.